Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Intentional Productivity Tips. I am Megan. I am your very favorite strategic productivity partner. I want to thank you for joining me here today to talk a little bit about productivity. Today, we're going to talk about something that I think might be hitting a lot of us, that might be near and dear to many of our hearts. Today, we are going to talk about hustling with intention. We're going to talk about mastering your side hustle time. Is there anyone out there that's looking for a project, a job, work, additional income, or anything like that? If you are, this is where you want to be, because today we're going to talk about where do you look? How do you organize your time? What do you do with your side hustle and activities when you've got the rest of your life to work on? So we're going to look at that and work on that today. But I want to thank you first for joining me on USA Global TV and Radio's YouTube network, where please remember, like, subscribe, and even be notified when new episodes drop. Also, check out our website and other shows on the YouTube channel. There are great opportunities for you to embrace your future, your life, and become the best you possible. And that is the goal. So today on Intentional Productivity Tips, we, as I mentioned, are going to be talking about something that is near and dear to many of our hearts these days. It is near and dear to my heart. It is the need for additional projects, income, jobs, whatever you want to talk about in that side hustle realm. So today we are talking about a productivity tip of how to make your side hustle work when you have no time. What are the things you can do? And my picture of the week you will notice this week is when I had a side hustle, and this was when I was in Puerto Rico several years ago and had an opportunity to work and enjoy the area. One of the reasons I love side hustles is for the flexibility. One of the reasons I love project work is for the flexibility. So let's talk a little bit about how we can make those happen and work for us, because today our goal is to hustle with intention. We are going to talk about how to make your side hustle time actually count. What is it that you can do for that to happen? So today we are going to talk about taking control of your side hustle. Again, do you need additional projects? Are you looking for work? Maybe additional income? Are you looking at how am I supposed to do that when I'm living my life? This is the place for you. We're going to look at some tips today. Today, we're specifically going to look at where to look, how to look, what's your priority, when to look. We're going to look at and break down some of those questions to make it a little bit easier for you. But let's get started and let's look a little bit. When I talk about side hustles and I talk about the gig economy, what is it that I mean? And I want to say welcome to 2026, where the side hustle economy is massive and wide open. And here's what you're actually stepping into. We know that in the year of our Lord, 2026, there is going to be global gig economy investment of work available of $674 billion. That was B with a billion. So there are $674 billion of side hustle and work out there. The question is, how do we make that turn in for us, right? We know that 72% of Americans at least have a side hustle or additional activity. And we know that 3 million freelancers a year are entering the side hustle gig. We know that there's 250,000 people entering this a month. So when we think about it, the side hustle, the side gig economy, project work, whatever you want to call it, I don't care what you call it. What we do want to know is, how do you deal with it, right? So the question is, where are people hustling? We know that there are people that are hustling in online freelance jobs. We know that there's e-commerce sites. We know that there's content and availability. We know that there's delivery and gig apps. So if you look here, we know 15% of people are looking for online freelancing consulting jobs. We know that there's also Additional opportunities. So, what we want to do is say the opportunity isn't the problem. There are opportunities out there, again, to the tune of $674 billion. We know that by 2033, that is going to be in the trillions of dollars. So, taking control now, why am I saying all these numbers? Is it to overwhelm you? No. Is it to equip you? Yes. And it's also to give you knowledge, because if you know what's available, you know that the search and organizing your time is worth it. We also want to be real. The opportunity isn't the problem, the noise is. Everyone is in the market. The ones who are intentional about where and how they show up are the ones that are getting the opportunities. So that's what we want to focus on today. We know that there is opportunity out there. We know a challenge is noise and accessibility. So how are we going to do that, right? Let's talk about a get real, honest reality check here. We know that for side hustle search, let's be honest, everyone has a side hustle. Everyone is applying. Everyone is posting. It's crowded. It's noisy, it's tiring. Always gonna be honest with you. This is not about doing more. This is about being intentional. So today's goal is to prepare you and equip you and your side hustle search so that you are not overwhelmed and you're not burnt out, so that you're connecting with the opportunities and they're happening for you. So today we will create a clear path that turns limited time into real progress. That's what we're building here today. When we think about it today, our goal is our hustle has to fit our life. Our life can't fit the hustle. So we're going to take control and talk about how we're going to be able to do that today. And that is the main focus for intentional productivity tips. Again, we're going to be honest. We're going to have a get real, because that's one place that's always going to be honest with you. Me, I'm going to be honest with our productivity. This isn't going to be easy, so we don't want to pretend it is. But it doesn't need to be chaos. We can lower the pressure, we can raise clarity, and we can keep moving if we have a plan. And so we are hustling with intention, which is exactly what our title is today. So let's look at the first places and how we can do this. Let's start with our side hustle search clarity. And I've got 3 questions I want to ask you for your side hustle search clarity. They include thinking about who, what, and why, right? When we are identifying and we are coming up with our side hustle, one of the things we want to look at is there are opportunities and people will pay you to do almost anything. I'm talking about legal things here. I don't know about everything else, but I'm just saying, when you think about it, in 2026, people will pay you to do a lot of things. There are so many opportunities. We already saw that. We know it's in the millions of dollars. It's in the billions of dollars, right? People will pay you to do anything. So, how do you start to connect yourself with the side hustle that's going to connect, right? How do you start to look for side hustles and for tasks and for opportunities that are going to work with you? This is why we want to start with 3 questions. The 3 questions we're going to start with: who, what, and why. So, the first question is this: who do you actually help? Not everyone. We know that you can look and say, I can do all of those projects, I can do all of the things. True. But when we're looking for a side hustle, we don't want our focus to be scattered and chaotic. We want to start to rein it in, right? We want to start to focus it. We want to start to have some clarity. One of the best ways to have clarity is say, who do you actually help? For me, when it comes to me as a strategic productivity partner, I help entrepreneurs. I've helped business owners. So entrepreneurs are who I help. Question is, who do you help? Is it busy people? Is it people that are lost? Is it someone that needs to learn something? Is it I help Excel users get unstuck? You know you can make money if you help Excel users, right? So our goal is to begin to identify, who do you actually help? Along with that, what problem are you solving? When you look at your skill set, when you look at your opportunities. Now, there are a lot of us who say, I can help everybody and I can help all problems. Well, maybe we can't, but we have, maybe, for example, people like me. I've had multiple industries, right? So when I'm creating a side hustle, when I'm looking for a side hustle, I want to start to focus it. I want to start to narrow it down and say, what is the problem I am solving? So for me, Megan, I help entrepreneurs. My problem that I solve is organization and productivity and project management, right? So that is what I do. What's yours? What is it that you help with? Is it maybe you help people get organized? Is it maybe you help people finish a PowerPoint presentation? Is it that you create videos? Is it that you create social media? What is it that you do? Again, we want to know the who and the what. This is before we're looking at the where. We want to identify who we are, it is that we are going to do. Not just what you offer, but what problems are you solving, right? So for me, I used to say, I prefer productivity services. That doesn't clarify the problem. I help people get unstuck. I help people get clarified. I help people with their goals. I help people with their daily structure, right? So what is it that you are doing? Do you help social media? Again, what is it? And then why does this matter? Why is it an important task for you? Why is it mattering for you to keep going? If you don't have the who, the what, and the why clear, it is going to impact you in the long run. If you're able to start with being able to clearly identify who it is that you help, what it is that you help them, what problem you solve with them, and why it matters enough to keep going. If you're able to identify those 3 questions, you're already starting and you know who you are. You're already narrowing down to say, this is my search. This is where I want to search. We know there are a lot of opportunities out there. We know that we have 24 hours in a day. There is no Botox for time. We have 24 hours in a day. So how can we take control of our side hustle search? Starting with clarity, if we identify the who, the what, and the why, we're on a good path. That helps us get to the next point. The next point we want to think about is where to search. There are so many different platforms and different ways to get work. As a person who in the 90s, that was last century, 1900s, as a person who taught job seeking skills in the 1900s, in the 1990s, I can tell you, welcome to 2026. It's a whole new world. It is a whole new ballgame in accessibility and opportunities. So we need to begin to be realistic about where we're searching, but we also can't search everywhere every time. We have to focus our time. For example, here are 4 types of places you can search: job boards, freelance platforms, direct outreach, content and visibility. So what do those mean? Let's talk about them a little bit more. So when we're talking about job boards, what I'm talking about is things like LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter. We know there's a lot of names out there. These are where you're going to apply to posted roles or jobs. This is why we want to know the what we're doing, and this is why we want to know who we're helping, right? Because we can limit and identify, we can begin to create filters in search criteria if we're going to use job boards, because we can apply to posted roles. We know that there's going to be high competition and we might not hear back. In fact, let's not plan on hearing back from people, because that's not what happens anymore in a lot of cases, unfortunately, right? And then we know that tailor applications are needed. We know if you're going to be applying for specific jobs on a job board, you want to tailor your application, right? These are the things that you want to do. One option are job boards. Another option are freelance platforms. We know there's Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, TopTal. We also know there's a whole bunch of new AI, right? There's Zenfree, right? There's all these new AI platforms. So the question is, where do I search and where do I use my time? This isn't like something where we want to spread everything out and go everywhere. What we want to start to look at, okay, is it a job board or is it one of these freelance platforms? We know that on freelance platforms, clients post projects. We know that there's fast opportunities. We know it's competitive. We know that we need to be strong and we need to have specific proposals and approaches. One thing you want to also identify with freelance platforms is how much is it? For example, going to talk about Upwork for a moment, right? We know Upwork has changed over the years. Hello, Elance. I was there in those days. We know Upwork has changed to where we need to look when we're making decisions. Does it cost? How much effort and energy do I want to apply? Again, we know Upwork now they charge connects to apply for projects. Is it going to be a project where you have to bid in order to even have your proposal looked at? It is so important in this day and age when we're identifying freelance platforms that we're starting to look at how much does it cost in the long term to apply for these projects? Is it worth that time and effort? Is my proposal going to be read? I will be honest with you, since January, I have applied for over 200 jobs, and I would say that less than 10%. I would say that actually less than 5%, less than 10 of my applications have even been and proposals have even been read. We know in this day and age in this market where there's a lot of competition, we need to ask ourselves with things like freelance platforms of, are people going to read my proposal? Is it worth this energy and effort to create a proposal if it's not read? We have to have those get real conversations. That's what I'm here for. So we know that we have freelance platforms as an option. Another option is direct outreach, right? We know we all have networks. People, can we send emailing network? Can we email? Can we network? Right? This is reaching out to people directly. This is talking to people on potentially on LinkedIn. This is networking. This is getting potentially higher quality leads, and it takes more effort up front. It's going to take us creating a lot of effort, right? And then another option is content and visibility. Sharing your work online is oftentimes a great way for people to connect and say, hey, I want some of that. I need you. And so one of the things by content and visibility, you're sharing, you're showcasing your expertise. This is a approach that's a little bit slower, but it builds trust and it attracts clients over time. One of the things that we want to remember and need to be aware of when we're thinking about different ways of where to search, right? Whether it be a job board, whether it be a platform, whether it be direct outreach, whether it be content and visibility, we know there are a lot of opportunities. We want to identify what opportunity works best for you for right now. Choose how to get what you want. So that's why you want to evaluate, right? So for example, with content and invisibility, that's a great plan. Maybe you're creating social media. Maybe you have an Instagram page. If you do, check out Intentional Productivity Tips. Maybe it's LinkedIn. Check out Megan Sandwick, right? You want to look at these things and you want to identify, where is it that I can have a reach? But we also know that we can't spend our time in all the directions at all the times. So that's why we want to be honest about where to search and what it's like in each of the places that we're searching, right? Because it is all about deciding where to expend your effort and energy. As I said, I've applied for several hundred projects over the last couple of months. It's been a lot of effort and energy. It's been tiring and it's not always been successful. So I have to ask myself, what am I doing to change? I have to ask myself, what's actually getting responses? Not just where I'm applying, but one of the things I need to continually do is I need to ask myself some questions about how my proposal process is going. I need to ask myself, are my proposals getting responses? Not just because I'm applying, but are they getting responses? If they're not, what do I need to change? Do I need to look somewhere else? Do I need to change my approach with my proposal? What is it that I need to change, right? We need to think about, we know who we are, we know who we're helping, we know what we're doing, and we know the why we're doing that. So that also gives us a big clue. For example, I know I'm working with entrepreneurs that are interested in productivity. So would Facebook be somewhere I want to look? Not necessarily. Would Indeed be someplace I want to look? Maybe. But do I want to think maybe, hey, this is going to be, I want to post my content. I want to look for project work, right? We want to know who it is that we're looking for and make sure that that's where we're looking where they are. If we're not looking where our potential clients are, we're wasting our time, effort, and energy. And that's not what we want to do. We want to identify what you can consistently show up for as far as a process. Are you continually going to look at LinkedIn? Are you going to look at ZipRecruiter? Are you going to look at Upwork? Are you going to look at TopTalk? What are you looking at? And then you want to ask yourself, what feels worth your energy? Not what drains your mind every time, but what has been worth your energy. As we are mastering our side hustle and we are looking to hustle with intention, if our process is not working, it's time to adjust. If our process is working, keep going, do it, right? These are the things we want to ask ourselves. It is important to continually identify. We know who it is that we're working with. We know what we're helping them with. We know why and what they're going to get out of it. And we've started to look at where we're going to search, right? We've started to look at the different opportunities. So now let's start about it. You don't just need more time. You need clear decisions about what deserves your time. You want to pick one thing, you want to focus, and you want to keep going. One of the biggest challenges I've found with a side hustle, especially when you're living the rest of your life, working on other projects, is how do you keep track of it? How do you know what to do? How do you do the right things? It can be a little bit overwhelming. So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to walk through specifically, let's look at the tasks, let's look at how you're organizing, and let's look at when you're completing your tasks to find your side hustle action, right? So, one of the things we want to identify is when it gets real, when it is time for the rubber to meet the road, right? When it is time for us to be busy and take action finding our side hustle, there's tasks that are associated with it, right? So we need to identify our side hustle tasks and where should I spend my task time? Where should I spend my time that I have available? We know intentional focus saves time. So what we want to start to do is to identify what are the types of tasks that we need to do. Is it connecting with existing clients? Is it new client tasks? Do you have content you need to create? Is there a marketing effort? Do you need to complete networking? Are there admin tasks? Is there business tasks for your business? We know when it comes to creating and having a side hustle, there are all kinds of tasks that go along with it. So not only are you looking for your work, not only are you completing your work, but there's organizing it. How do we do that? Well, let's look at that right now. My recommendation is you always want to start with identifying what the tasks you have are. You want to create a current action list. You want to make a mental download of everything that is associated, all of the tasks. I need to create a new graphic. I need to create a new description. I need to update my LinkedIn profile. I have a formal client that I want to reach out to, right? What we want to do is we want to, in order to take control of our side hustle, it's not just assuming where we're looking. It's not just creating proposals and projects. It's also saying, how are we going to control our tasks and our task time? That's the second part of today's presentation, today's show. We want to make sure that by the time that this show ends, you've got an entire comprehensive plan of how you're going to take control of your side hustle and master your time. It is important for us to identify when it comes time for the action, and this is actually taking action to move forward. It is important that we identify all of the tasks that we have right now. The place I always recommend, start a list, create a list, right? We're not going to do all of this right now. We're just getting intentional and organized. If you have a list, an action list for all of the things you need to do associated with your side hustle, it's going to help you feel like you're in control and you're going to be able to move forward. Once you have a list of all your tasks, one of the things that's important is for you to pick a tracking tool. One of the things that is imperative when we're talking about our side hustle is how we organize our time, our actions, and our information, right? So one of the things we can do this with is a tracking tool. I'm showing you right now up on the board. I'm showing you I use a Kanban board. I am a lover of the Kanban board. I am a lover of the Kanban Flow app. So when it comes to my side hustle, what I do is I have a Kanban style board where I track my side hustle and I track it based on what I need to do now, who my existing and new clients are. I keep track of all of the different task categories, and then I create the actions here. This gives me a snapshot of all of the tasks that I need to complete. Picking a tool, a tracking tool that works for you is extremely powerful. It also gives you ownership. And again, our goal is to make this work for you. So that's why we were wanting to say what tool works for you. My goal recommendation for all my clients is whether it's a spreadsheet, a Kanban board, a Trello, Asana, or whatever it is, pick one that you'll actually use. So what I would say is after you've identified all your tasks that you need to complete, pick a tracking tool. Okay. So now that we've got our tracking tool and we've got our tasks, let's look back. We've decided where we're going to look for our freelancing and side hustle gigs. We know who we're going to help, what we're going to help them do, and why, what challenge we're solving, and why, right? So we've identified all of that. But now the most important question is, when are you going to get this done? When are you going to finish all of this? So we want to look at how to create a when, and how to create those moments for your hustle, right? So creating your task time action plan. This is when we identify your real capacity. One of the things we want to do with your side hustle planner, because again, we know this is a side hustle, so this might not be your main job. So one of the things we want to begin to do on a daily basis, and this is going to take some effort on a daily basis, it will be worth it, I promise. On a daily basis, when you're going to work on your side hustle time, there are 3 things you want to ask yourself. What is my time available today? What is my total time available that I have to work on projects? How much of that time is meeting or call time that's already taken up? And then how much task time do I have, right? So for example, if I know I have 4 hours available today, I know that I have 1 hour of call meeting time. I know that I have 3 hours I can work on my side hustle. Once we know we have that time, so what we just did is we just identified how much time we have for right now. Once we know that we have 3 hours of task time available, this is when we can go and begin to identify what do we need to work on now, what do we need to work on next, and what do we need to work on after. So what we're going to do with our task list is we're going to organize it into 3 categories: now, next, and after. Now, what gets me paid? What brings the money in right now? Those are the tasks I want to do now. Next tasks are, what are my pipeline tasks? What are my pipeline tasks that are going to get things and money into the pipeline? And then third, after, what are things that are going to happen later? So when we think about it, if we go back to our task list and we go back to our tracking tool, what we want to start to do is we want to start to have a place where we track what are those tools that we want now, next, and after. We know that those are related to what am I going to get money for now? What is going to be in my pipeline, and what am I going to do after? So what this does for me, what I've decided, and this is for me a couple of days ago, I decided that for me, my now getting me money was doing active client work, because I had active client work I needed to do. I knew that my next tasks, the pipeline tasks, were I had some client prospecting client tasks I needed to follow up. And then my after tasks were some admin. I had some business related, some social media things I needed to do, right? So for me, what I'm starting to break down is, of all of my tasks that I know I can do for master my side hustle, I want to start to break it down. One of the things we've done is we've begun to identify what amount of time do I have today. Once I know what time I have today, I can then come and say, okay, I have 3 hours of time today. So what are the actions I need to take for my clients, and how long is it going to take? What are my prospecting actions? How long is it going to take? And what are my admin tasks? How long is it going to take? By beginning to identify our task time and our tasks, we now know, hey, I've got 3 hours. When I am ready to come and work, I can come directly and start to pick up and complete the tasks that are going to be helpful for you. And that's one of our goals. When we're starting to think about mastering our side hustle, it is imperative to remember that intentional hustle creates results. Success in your side hustle does not happen by accident. It's built with intention. By being clear about your purpose, prioritizing your efforts, and planning your time, you're not just working hard, you're working smart for the life that you truly want. You're working smart for the opportunities that you want. And again, we know in the year of 2026, side hustle, more important than ever, and being intentional with it is imperative. There are so many opportunities. We know that there are billions of dollars of side hustle opportunities in the world right now. How are we going to grab the ones for us? Intentional hustle creates results with less noise, more clarity, and real progress. Setting clear action priorities and tracking systems for your side hustle gives you direction. It's about prioritizing. With the clear plan, you can easily identify how to spend your available time. So that's one of the reasons why today my goal has been to help you identify not only what is it that you do and who it is you help and where it is you look, but what are the tasks that you need to complete? What are the tools you're tracking those with? And how are you assigning that time so that you are moving forward on a daily basis? Years ago, I worked at a college in Montecito, California, and we were going through a huge data project at the time. We were changing to an entire data. We were changing the entire campus, all of the systems, HR, financial aid, student records, to a new tracking system. This was in the zeros. And it was an overwhelming project. And at the time, I learned one of my biggest lessons in life. Our vice president of finance at the time, he would walk through, we shared at a space, and he would always ask us, how do you eat an elephant? And all of us, as we were overwhelmed, we would be like, what? And he would say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Then he would ask us, does this task feel like an elephant? And we would generally be like, yes. And he would say, you eat it one bite at a time. You create your intention, you create your actions, and you create your solutions one bite at a time. So thank you, Ron, for teaching us that. But that is something that we want to do. And today has been my goal. I know that finding a side hustle, finding projects, connecting with them when you're living the rest of your life can seem overwhelming, and it can seem a lot. So today, the goal has been to identify how to move forward one bite, one action, one day at a time. So now let's look at your solution, right? Let's look at what it is you're going to do to improve this. How is it that you're going to be intentional with your side hustle? As every week, my goal is to wrap it up and have you find at least one actionable task you can turn and add to your to-do list. So let's talk about being intentional with your side hustle. You want to know your what, who, where, and when. You want to plan your time. You don't just want to spend it. So I encourage you, identify your what, identify the tasks that you do. Who, choose your clients. What is it that you're going to solve for them? What is the pain point that you solve for your clients? Who is it that you help? Where will you decide where you'll work? Where is it that you're going to look? Is it a platform? Is it freelance? Is it an AI opportunity? Is it content development? Is it networking? Is it a combination? Decide where. Then you want to decide when you're going to schedule your time and when you're going to schedule your work and your opportunities. You want to plan your time. You don't just want to spend it. You want to create a plan of action that is going to help you take control of your side hustle. We know it can feel overwhelming. We know it can feel like a lot, but we know if we take control, if we stop, if we're intentional, if we break it apart to look at the what, the who, the when, and the where, this is going to help you in even the why. We know that, right? So my goal today is every day is for you to be able to take and gain and learn and be able to implement some of these tips into your side hustle so that you're able to get the projects that you want. And we want you to win and be successful. Again, we know there are billions of dollars of hustle money. There are billions of dollars that are being spent in the gig economy. You should be able to access it. Today, our goal was to help you with your hustle so that you are hustling with intention and to master your side hustle time. That is today's productivity tip. Again, I am Megan. I am your very favorite strategic productivity partner. I really hope that this conversation helped you. I hope that it guides you and that it gives you some sort of creative and important intention when you're moving forward. You are watching me on USA Global TV and Radio's YouTube channel. Again, remember to like, subscribe, and even be notified when new episodes drop. You can see me every Thursday, 2 p.m., same channel. Here, I will be back next Thursday for another episode of Intentional Productivity Tips. Again, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I want to thank you for being intentional. We know that we know there are gigs out there. It's being intentional to find them. And I say to you, good luck. Good luck, and let me know how it's going. Please remember, like, subscribe, and be notified when new episodes drop. Thank you for joining me today on Intentional Productivity Tips. I will see you next Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific. Make it a productive week.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram-Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who was going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCranPerkins.com. Tracy Cran Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.